What is up, everybody? It's your boy Phil Shocker, the United States Show here with our LEL Z Move Takeover Team Draft Analysis. If you guys can't hit the like button and already, subscribe, join the Phil Shocker crew today because you be thrilled with the Game of the Crew. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've been having some audio issues with my computer for some reason. Not like bad though, but you know what I mean. Hopefully I fixed it now so where it'll work. And if not, I'll probably just need to turn it off and re-download it or something like that. I don't know. But because the first time I did this, apparently there was no sound. But at least I can do now a proper breakdown and refigure out this team builder and stuff for you guys now. But you guys, again, like I said, leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into this. So I took over a team that's currently 3-2 +1. Has he changed that making playoffs currently at this moment? There are 6 weeks left in the season. So I decided to take a team, and I literally trashed the whole team except for one Pokemon on this team. And that's because I saw what was left over, and I thought that there was some really great potential, and I really wanted to try out some stuff I even haven't tried out, bring back some stuff I've never haven't tried but never used in a long time, and just overall experience like this. So I have been a weatherman. I have been using sand a lot, and I used hail I think like a few times, but then I gave up on hail basically. But I have tried this before, but it was gonna be what we did for GADL, but I decided to cancel it after a major snipe happened, and it messed up my entirety of my plans. So I completely changed it around, which probably kind of almost cost us the chance that we did, but I'm gonna not change it this time. We're gonna go right into it, but you guys can. I'm gonna keep getting into that most of So let's just go into this. So basically, I dropped everything except for Jolteon on this team, and we dropped everything. So let's go over. So my first pickup here was Politoed, aka Poggers. When it comes to rain setters, I definitely think Politoed is the best premier rain setter in the game because Politoed has limited more weaknesses than Pelipper does. It has two quad weaknesses in Freeze Dry and Thunderbolt. Yes, can have a chance against grass types, but is still weak to grass typing nonetheless. Politoed, it gives him pretty much a premier weakness of electric, grass, and freeze dry. But with freeze dry, I can at least live one hit. And I only have two weaknesses. Then not having a rock weakness, not having a. I think that was it. So Politoed technically has lesser weaknesses than Pelipper does, so that's why I think Politoed is better. And Politoed is a really good, more defensive mon to use as well, and he can also be a really good tech mon with Parasong, Choice Specs, so definitely a good mon there. But it's my premier rain bringer, so when you have the rain bringer, you gotta bring the rain users, and that's why we got Mega Swampert here. Mega Swampert I have not used in such a long time. I've only used Mega Swampert like one time in Draft League, and it actually got me to a playoffs match. I was like, I would bring Swampert, kind of bring manual rain Swampert to do some of the work that I wanted to do. Swampert, just in general, is a really good offensive Pokemon. Um, for some reason, the DLC has not allowed it to get access to Bulk Up yet, but it will soon. It's probably because it's gonna be one of those Pokemon, the Crown Tundra, that come out. So, oh well, or whatever. So I'm definitely looking forward to using Swampert. Swampert is going to be fantastic mon. I think Swampert offensively is really great. There's also some cool tech ideas with Swampert to counter certain mons, which I think is really good after my experiencing. Swampert just in general is just really good. I expect Swampert to be pretty good for this now. I'm naming it Devin after my boy Devin, who is my best friend, who's got the arms of a monster. We're also just naming the Politoed Poggers because it's Pog. I'm gonna have Claire after the Gen 2 Dragon Leader. I got Kingdra here. Kingdra got massively buffed this generation, getting access to things like Hurricane, and I think now Liquidation. It might have gotten it beforehand, I could be wrong, but Kingdra now becomes much more of an offensive monster with Choice Band, Choice Spec sets, and also again there's ways Kingdra works outside of Arena again with the Agility and Dragon Hand sets as well with Sniper as well. This thing is just super really good. I definitely think Kingdra. I've used Kingdra. I think not from a full league yet. I've never used Kingdra like from a full start of a league and everything, but I have used Kingdra a little bit, and it's a really good Pokemon. I think it can be really good. Hopefully have some good success with Kingdra, and hopefully I can use it fun. Up next is it was pretty much a toss up between either going Dreadnought, Kabutops, and or um, Ludicolo for a Premier Switch Swim user to pair with Devin and Claire. And I went with Ludicolo. Ludicolo gives me a bit of a ground resist check as well. It also gives me a really good decent mon to kind of handle ice typing as well to take hits unless it's not freeze dry. I think Ludicolo also has got a really decently good wide variety of a move pool that can kind of go in and out against this entirety of this team. And I just generally think Ludicolo is actually going to be really good. I'm naming it Mirror B because Mirror B is one of the best characters in Pokemon history because of XD Colors and Coliseum, but mostly from XD and partially Coliseum. But a little funny joke here. You see these three Swiss swim raiders I have, they're all weak to freeze dry. I didn't realize that till now, but it probably can be funny. But so I wanted to get help with the ice weaknesses that we're starting to kind of go with freeze dry here. So I pick up a Scavalier. Scavalier in Rain has been one of those most premier dominant mons in the format because of stuff like this. And I've never tried a Scavalier. I've used it tiny bit in the NCP low tier league that was in about a year and a half or so ago. And I want to try a Scavalier for the first time. I think a Scavalier is one of those underrated mons I think a lot of people kind of sleep on and have to and don't really prepare fully for. So I definitely wanted to make sure I was ready to go for it. And I'm really hoping that Scavalier proves to be a really good Pokemon with great offensive and defensive stats as well. I think so Scavalier can be really good. Also getting access to Overcoat, which is also really good as well. And the access to Battle Armor is also really solid as well. So, up next, I grab what's arguably potentially a questionable play here, but hear me out on this play. I grabbed Alolan Ninetales for the fact that Aurora Veil plus rain users is super, super, super good and competitive. My feeling like this. Again, I like Clan, then I bring in my Politoed, then I can bring in my other monsters to set up the rain, or bring in my Scavalier after I send in Politoed. Just gets him because it gives great setup opportunities for Arthur, for Mirror B, Claire, and Devin, just to really just do whatever they really want to do. Also, Ninetales offensively is really good too. Ninetales from Specs to Life Orb, Agility Nasty Plot. Like there's some really good sets with Ninetales outside of Rain and outside of using Hail with. So I really think Ninetales is really good. And I'm really excited to use it after a very long time of having not used it before. Of course, we gotta have my boy Frill Shock here. My boy Frill Shocker here. Obviously, I grabbed it, and plus now I have Weather Ball, which means hail damage is really good and water damage is really good. Jolteon now has basically no switches besides grass types, but other than that, Weather Ball to ground types, if they're not scarfed or anything like that, they basically lose. I think Jolteon overall is a very great electric type. Yes, the hindrance of the Signal Beam and Hidden Power does suck, but I think Jolteon still is going to be a fantastic mon. And plus, it's my mascot. I haven't used my mascot in a long time. And I'm pairing it with my defensive mon I really like to go with as well. And Umbreon. Umbreon is a really good Wish Passer. This is pretty much my main Wish Passer for this team. And status user for this team as well because of Signify. I think it's a really good Pokemon nonetheless. I think it's going to be really reliable to help keep most of the team healthy. And just be able to help with going through the things that we need to help with in defensive stats. I think I've already got some good coverage and stuff with this thing as well. I think this Pokemon can just really do a lot for this team from support. Now, originally, this was Gengar, but then I was dumb and didn't pay attention that Gengar was picked up. So I switched it over, and I went with Uxie instead. Now, the reason I went with Uxie, it gave me another good defensive Pokemon to use. It also gave me another Stealth Rocker, because I only have one Stealth Rocker at the current time. But it also gives me access to Trick Room. Trick Room for this team is not terribly against this team. Uxie is also a really good pivoter with U-Turn, which is also really nice as well. But one other main thing I went with Uxie for was Memento. Memento is really good to bring in something that, even if I don't really need the rain for, I can use to get in the prime position to sweep, which is another reason I like having this team that can work outside of rain because like Kingdra can come in, go for the agility, focus, energy, sniper shots, and then you can just also go for Dragon Dancing as well. It's just super good, and I definitely think having Uxie on this team is going to be interesting. I've never used Uxie before, so I'm really excited to try this out. Also got Tornadus here, which can also set up the rain as well with Rain Dance as well. It's also a really good mixed offensive Pokemon. I grabbed the same kind of because I wanted a good Hurricane abuser, and I also wanted something that kind of helps support the team with, hazards and for setting up the rain as well. It also gives me a really good fast mon outside of rain as well to really use. I went with Frogger's my Toxicroak here because of dry skin. It also gave me a grounded poison type that I needed for Toxic Spike shenanigans. Toxicroak in general is actually not that bad in the format, and it's also not bad on rain teams because of dry skin. It also is not too terrible against going against things like fire types now in the rain is also. So we've got a little bit of trouble dealing with psychic typing, but I think we have decent answers to what we need to use it for. And I just really excited to try Toxicroak. I've never used Toxicroak before, so very much excited to try it. We've got my man Froggers. And that's when they do my Fire Kike, and I only grabbed Darmanitan just because for the fact I wanted a fire type, and I wanted a fire type that was going to work with outside of a rain team, and I think Darm just did so well. I love Darm so much using it in WC, but That's the draft takeover, guys. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the Phil Shocker Crew today. Until next time, guys, I'm Phil Shocker. I will see you guys next time. Peace.